So anyway, today we're going to talk about meditation and MS. And this is really literally something that I could sit and talk about all day. So I'm going to try to keep myself on track, especially being that I'm in a Saturday mindset. Okay. So there's one thing that I say over and over again, and I can't emphasize it enough, is that management of stress, if you're living with multiple sclerosis, is your number one priority. Don't worry about supplements. Don't worry about anything. If your stress is any higher than a 6 out of 10, if you are a worrier or you suffer from anxiety, because those are the things that are going to stop your body from healing. We've become neutral to the concept of stress, worry, anxiety. It's not normal. That's not the normal state of existence. The body was made to toggle between the stress response and the relaxation response. The stress response, of course, is to get you away from the saber-toothed tiger, or at least that's what your DNA thinks. The relaxation response is intended to heal the wounds that were incurred during the escape. So it's literally life or death. So we need to stop thinking that our boss or the commute or that scary movie or your mother-in-law or whatever is a saber-toothed tiger, and start creating some adaptive mechanisms. I can tell when I meet somebody how well they're going to do based on their stress level. And I've actually sat down with people and I said, you know that nothing else matters right now. If it takes us a week, if it takes us a month, if it takes us a year, if it takes us a decade, then getting that stress response in under control. And this is really where our culture fails, right? Because we're driving, work hard, play hard. We measure and reward ourselves on how much we do, and there's no value put in the non-doing. And in fact, it is in the non-doing where the body heals. So enter meditation, right? For millennia, meditation has been a regular part of different cultures to bring balance to life. And that balance part is the part that's missing in our current Western model. And ironically, we've got so many other cultures looking up to this flawed Western model in so many ways, right? So what happens when we meditate? Why has meditation been such a crucial part of balancing health around the globe in different cultures? Well, it makes us be right here, right now, with all the warts and wrinkles, right? It allows us to check out of that thinking and that busy mind and reflect and visualize and, dare I say, create. And ultimately allows the body to heal. And like I said, there are cultures that just innately understand that. It's relatively new to North America. I would say it started to get big sort of in the hippie scene in the 60s, when yoga and meditation sort of first really came onto the Western scene in a remarkable way. But what have we been doing since then? We've been doing what we do in the West really, really well. We study it, right? We need a double-blind, placebo-controlled study to prove that things that have been working for 3,000 years actually work. So that's good. So what have we learned from studying it? Oh, well, guess what we've learned? We've learned that it allows us to be present and connected in the present moment. It allows us to reflect, and it allows the body to heal, right? So now we know how it works, so to speak. It works, right? The whole process of meditation, and then we've taken it up a notch, right? So we've got all of the the neurofeedback now. So we've got devices that can actually enhance or promote your meditation experience, right? So what does meditation do? It starts to move us around on the different brain waves. So the beta brainwave, that's the busy brainwave. So think beta busy, right? The BBs. And then the meditation will start to take us into alpha and delta and theta brainwaves. So it actually takes the body deeper and deeper into really a healing state. You know, we've learned one thing that we've learned, because every culture, every historical culture, like I don't consider the United States and Canada as historical cultures because they're only a few hundred years old, but where there is millennia of practice, and there is always a written way to calm the mind or to switch the body into that relaxation response. And it consists of two simple things. And that's all it is. One of them is the repetition of a word or a sound or a movement. And the other one is passively bringing the mind back as it wanders, because we understand that the mind wanders. That's the way we're programmed. And then, good gosh, in the Western model, we've certainly we've certainly taught our brains to be busy, haven't we? So shutting them down to relax isn't exactly in our dogma, right? What we know is that meditation, or it's also called mindfulness, involves being aware of and attentive to what is occurring in the present moment in terms of thoughts, emotions, and somatosensory experience. So soma is the body, so somatosensory, how the body feels or sensations, right? With a non-judgmental attitude of openness and receptivity. So, and these are the things, right? That's another thing we do so well in the West, is we judge and we blame and we shame. It's about just being present in a completely non-judgmental way. You know, I remember Jack Kornfield, who is has certainly been one of my mentors in meditation, saying once, you know, the mind is like an untrained puppy. So it's going to wander off if it's left unattended, right? And when it wanders off, don't beat the puppy, just gently coach it back. So that shame and blame and, oh, I can't do this, or this isn't for me, or I don't know how to meditate, or it's against my religion, or whatever your excuse is, don't go there. Just say, oh, hey, mind, come on back here. And, you know, I also want to mention that there are so many very different kinds of meditation, and I practice all of them. You know, so you can get the great Buddhist meditation, you can get the more modern mindfulness meditations, relaxation meditation, body scan meditation, just simply deep breathing. And P.S., I've got a little piece of information for you. I've been meditating. I'm 59 and a half years old now, and I've been meditating since my early 20s. And I still use guided meditation. I very, very, very seldom will, you know, just get into a zone and be able to get, you know, to get into a deep meditative state. I actually still use a lot of guided meditation. And for me, the perfect timing is 1 hour. I dream about being able to, you know, do a meditation retreat, but I haven't done that yet. I started with 10 minutes, and I encouraged you, when we talked about the power of the mind, we did a little breath work. I encourage you to just start with some breaths, because remember, it takes only 3 nice deep belly breaths, you know, where you breathe into the belly, the diaphragm massages that vagus nerve, switches the brain out of the stress response into the relaxation response. 3 breaths, that's all it takes for that. And that's to switch it over. And then the longer you stay there, the more healing support you're giving your body, right? So, so while many people in Western society have said, oh yeah, I've got to do that, or I want to do that, they kind of lack the motivation to really get into it. What is that? No time. Like, that's, you don't even want to get me started on that topic. We all have the same amount of time. How much time do we all have, Mike, in a week? We have 168 hours.
That's right.
So we all have 168 hours in a week. How you choose to spend them is completely up to you. So meditation, to me, should be as natural as brushing your teeth or having a shower in the morning or combing your hair. You know, that's how important it is, okay? I hear it, I hear from time to time, and I've heard it a couple times this week, so you always get what's current for me in the practice. But this week I heard the old, I can't meditate. Nah, my mind is too busy to meditate. Well, guess what? The more you say, I can't meditate, my mind, I just can't shut my mind off, the more important it is you learn, because it's a new behavior. You're creating a new behavior. Just like you've trained your brain to switch on and jump into overdrive the nanosecond you get out of bed, you need to train it to switch off. And I don't just mean at night when you go to bed and fall in bed, collapsed in fatigue. I mean at crucial points during the day. And we're going to get into a little bit more about the studies that have been done specific to MS. But I can tell you my personal experience and what I hear from other people is that they just move different after they've meditated. And I sure know that to be true for me. Okay. So creating new behavior, that's the big message from that, the last line on that page. Yeah, meditation doesn't have to be nothingness. It can be guided meditation, focus on the breath, any activity that has a repetitive nature. So this can even be chanting or, humming, singing. All those things also stimulate the vagus nerve, which is super, super healthy, right? It switches us where? From the stress response into the relaxation response. I let slip there against my religion. I've heard this a couple of times. I don't understand it because every religion has a huge, huge component of meditation built right into it. So whether it's prayer beads in a more Catholic culture, there's the rosary. I'm not raised in the Catholic culture, but Mike is. And so when I participate in these Catholic rituals, by virtue of going to a wedding or a funeral or a christening or whatever, I find it really interesting to say, hey, there's the meditation. There it is, chanting back and forth. I also heard in the Catholic Church for the first time, which was really interesting to me. The priest was saying one thing and the congregation would respond with another programmed, learned response. That's chanting. That's also meditative. So, so many cultures have prayer beads. I have a beautiful set of sandalwood prayer beads that my Indian girlfriend gave me from her culture. So every culture, every religion has an aspect of meditation in it. So I don't ever want to hear it's against my religion, because it's not. Okay. Now we've studied it. Now we know what it does. We've got enhanced brain imaging that we can use to actually see what parts of the brain light up or what parts of the brain cool down, even better. So now we also have biofeedback devices that you can use to help you in your meditative practice. And the one that we've used, actually Mike used it quite extensively, is called the Muse, M-U-S-E. And it's just a band that gets some key points on your brain, and it gives you in real-time feedback about where your brain waves are going. And you found that quite helpful, didn't you, the Muse?
It's like training wheels for meditation.
There you go. It's like training wheels for meditation.
You don't need them eventually, but it is good feedback.
That's right. So you don't need them eventually, but it's great feedback at the time. So there's all kinds of them, though. There's all kinds of different neurofeedback. I had one once from Deepak Chopra, I noticed it was called the Wild Divine or something like that. And I noticed it's still posted like on Amazon, but it's not available. So I'm sure he's moved on to something bigger and greater. So to be clear now, meditation is self-regulated. Neurofeedback is enhanced by the use of a machine. Okay. Studies are being done all the time on different conditions, and there's been tons that have been done on MS. And when I talk about studies, I'm not talking about a yoga class giving their feedback. I'm talking about peer-reviewed controlled trials. And controlled trials means they have a group of people who are doing the activity, and they have a group of people who are not doing the activity, and then they compare. So they have the control group that's not doing anything, and then they have the trial group, which is actually getting the intervention, whatever it is, right? So what do our controlled trials tell us specific to MS? Well, let me know if any of these relates to you, okay? So in controlled trials, meditation brings a reduction in chronic pain. In almost every study they did, it was almost a side effect. Improvement in quality of life, overall quality of life. It brings a reduction in anxiety and depression. And not only a reduction in anxiety and depression, but it was actually protective against developing or redeveloping anxiety and depression. Meditation, as specific to MS, showed a reduction in perceived fatigue. It decreased peripheral neuropathy and improved sleep. So those are just symptoms. Never mind what's going on in your hormone levels, what's going on in your blood sugar regulation. That is all deeply impacted as well. And there are all separate studies on that. I just focused for us today on the things that were specific to MS. So once again, I'm just going to repeat that. Reduction in chronic pain, improvement in overall quality of life, reduction and protection against anxiety and depression, reduction in perceived fatigue, decreased peripheral neuropathy, and improved sleep. I'd like to see studies about mobility, because this is one where it was interesting when I did. You may or may not know, I worked with the founders of the PONS device. I did a 13-month study down at their labs at the University of Madison in Wisconsin. And it was very interesting to me that every neuroplasticity session, which is about recreating pathways in the brain to increase mobility, started with a 20-minute meditation. And when I asked them, like, what's with the meditation? They said that meditation basically primes the brain for neuroplasticity. Hello. So that alone is enough reason to do it every morning, every morning before you get up, because it is switching your brain on basically to the possibility of creating new brain pathways. So the good news is that most of these studies were kind of like 8-week studies, which isn't very long at all. So in that 8 weeks, by the way, by the time you've done it for 8 weeks, you've also created that new behavior and that new pattern for yourself. The bad news is that after 6 months, so they did the 8 weeks, they stopped the intervention, they stopped the meditation, and after 6 months, the differences between the control and the trial group were no longer significant. So all that means is you got to keep doing it, right? And that's what practice is all about. It's so interesting because I think many of us, and God knows I've thought it from time to time. And I heard a patient tell me this week, I think I'm just waiting for the smoking gun. I'm waiting for the silver bullet. I'm waiting for the next big thing. Well, you're going to hear me say this a million times if you listen to me long enough. It's not about one thing. It's not even two things. It's everything you do. So that next big thing is actually accumulation of little things, and all driven by you. Om Mani Padme Hum. That's a great one. I've got that's a great chant, Sue. So I just want to pull some conclusions together for you. And I want to know, tell me, please, in the chat, if are you meditating? Is meditation a part of your self-care? Is meditation a part of your healing MS naturally, transforming MS naturally program? I want to know that. So please let me know that, okay? So here are some of the conclusions, and I'm just reading these verbatim. The effectiveness of mind-body therapies may lie in their ability to facilitate stress reduction, relaxation, and improvement of mood, which in turn may affect the degree to which psychosocial factors can negatively affect the quality of life in MS patients. So basically, here's my paraphrasing of that. The effectiveness of all this mind-body craziness is it helps us switch off that crazy Western world, right? It allows us to de-stress, to relax, to switch the body into the healing mode. The practice of meditation should be considered a therapeutic option for symptomatic management of chronic neurological diseases. That statement actually came out of an MS paper that I read. So I'm going to read that for you again, just in case anybody didn't hear it. The practice of meditation should be considered a therapeutic option for symptomatic management of chronic neurological disease. And that, once again, is from those studies. I would go on and beyond that and move it right into our new neuroscience that I'm always harping about. In our new neuroscience, we know that we can create new brain infrastructure, period. What gets in our way? We do. Meditation is a way for us to get out of our own way so our body can do what it knows how to do. Okay? And here's the third conclusion here. Multiple sclerosis. Disease course is known to be adversely affected by several factors, including stress. A proposed mechanism for decreasing stress and therefore decreasing MS morbidity and improving quality of life is meditation. So this is just something we need to suck it up, Buttercup, and figure out how to do and figure out how to apply it. And Christopher's telling us that he meditates listening to calm music, imagines himself doing things that he struggles with, like walking with less drop foot. Absolutely. So what's going on there for Christopher is he's taking the body out of that stress response into a place he can heal, and then using neuroplasticity, what I was just talking about, to retrain those pathways that are governing that foot drop for him. Angela, I really struggle to stay focused. My mind wanders. When I relax, I often fall asleep. I hear you. And remember what I said. I don't know if you were on earlier, Angela, but the mind wandering is a normal human state. So no beating up, no judgment, no throwing your arms up and declaring you can't do it. This is where, in Jack Kornfield's words, treat your mind. Your mind is like a puppy. Right? If it's left unattended long enough, it will wander off. So instead of beating that puppy, gently bring it back and teach it that it needs to sit and it needs to stay. And the falling asleep bit, that's not ideal. It probably means you need more sleep, but put yourself in a posture that perhaps doesn't allow you to fall asleep, sitting up instead of laying down, for example. Gay is saying deep breathing and counting to 4. I have to have something so my mind doesn't wander. Exactly, right? So that's, and when we did the breathing as part of the Power of the Mind talk we had, I used to work with a mindfulness practitioner when I had the clinic, and he had all kinds of ways, counting, what were some of the other ways that, Stephen? Anyway, there are a million ways just to keep the mind engaged at a gentle level. And once again, I still use guided meditations. And, nowadays, I'm just going to read from Tracy here. I just started meditation 2 weeks ago. 15 minutes is where I'm at right now. Yay. I meditate on moving, dancing, walking, things I enjoy. Don't put it in the past tense, Tracy. Things I enjoy, right? We want to always be communicating with the body in the present tense. The past tense means it isn't anymore. The present tense, it's where it's at. And this is all... like I said, we could talk forever on this stuff. This is all very, very, very well studied. Dawn says she's found meditation so helpful in sleep, reducing stress and anxiety. She's using the Calm app for about 4 years. I got that one too, Dawn. So there are all kinds of little apps. And of course, there are free versions of them. And there are the upgraded paid versions. But you know what? Find something that resonates with you. YouTube. Oh my goodness. YouTube is such a lovely, lovely resource nowadays. There is an online store called soundstrue.com, and I'll post that in the group for us. I download from them all the time. I literally have a catalog of hundreds of different meditations, and I pick my meditation based on my mood, based on the weather, based on something I might want to accomplish. So, there's all kinds of, you don't have to do the same meditation over and over again, although I have done that too, done 30 days of the same meditation. I'm sorry, I have someone here that's just identified as Facebook user. My Fitbit has integrated breathing exercises. Excellent. Brilliant idea for taking a few minutes to focus on breathing. That's awesome. And you know what? A lot of these devices, the iPhone or the Aura Ring, or, even Calm on your phone, the Calm app, it'll come up and say it's time for some, breathing exercises. So, where to start? Just start. Just do it. Just start. I'm going to finish off here. And then if you're interested, I've written a meditation for us today. It's a little bit longer than the breathwork one that we did on the Power of the Mind talk. It is a combination of a body scan and relaxation and breath work. It's I just wrote it this morning. It was fun. And so we're going to do that. So you can stick around for that. Mike is also going to take that and produce it into an MP4 that you can download to start your own library with. Okay? If you want to hear me every day, you can just listen to that every day, right? So how do you start? I said just start. That's very tongue-in-cheek. But it's true. Just stop and sit down and close your eyes and put one hand on your tummy and one hand on your heart chakra and start to breathe. Another thing that I haven't talked a lot about, because it is really a discussion all on its own, is heart math. And that is heart-brain coherence. And that syncing that energy between the heart and the brain has been something that has been understood in naturopathic medicine for hundreds of years. But once again, it's in the science now, which is awesome. So heart math, I'll post that one as well. So create your routine. My routine is I get up, I do my shower, I get out to my meditation space, I light a stick of incense, and I actually make a cup of tea and sit it beside me, and I start my meditation every morning. And when I don't, I sure feel it, right? Build your resources. Like we said, build your libraries, get your apps going, look on YouTube, look on Sounds True. Remember that it only takes 3 breaths to switch the stress response into the relaxation response. So if nothing else, stop, sit down, close your eyes, and do 3 or 5 or 10 deep breaths. And by the way, it's important to understand that the benefits of those 3 breaths are cumulative over the day. So even if you put a little ding on your phone to go once an hour and you do 3 deep breaths once an hour, at the end of the day, you've got the cumulative benefit of all of those breaths together. So that's pretty awesome too. Explore different kinds of meditation. Maybe you don't like meditation because you did some flaky meditation that didn't resonate with you. Look to the people that have brought it into the medical sciences. Like, I did my first mind-body training at the Herbert Benson Institute for Mind-Body Medicine at Harvard. So Herbert Benson is a great one, or any of his folks from there. John Kabat-Zinn has really brought it into a lot of the universities. Jack Cornfield is just one of my favorite sweetie pies. But find different kinds of meditation, like Kelly Howell is one. I happen to like Kelly Howell. I know people who have listened to Kelly Howell and thought, that woman is on a different planet. Maybe that's what I like about her. But find a place, find a type of meditation that resonates with you, and then always, you'll move, you'll evolve, you'll change. Things will change. Joe Dispenza. If you haven't looked into Joe Dispenza, that man is freaking changing the face of meditation in how it actually heals the body. And he's doing these massive 3,000 people workshops where he's actually got the heart math people there monitoring things, and they're doing brain scans. So he's hardcore. And when I first listened to Joe Dispenza, I just thought he was a flake. And now I can't get enough of him because I know the method in what he's doing. And it's really a great thing. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. And as I always hope my talks are helpful for you. And we're just going to flip around and do this little meditation I wrote just for you today. So I'm going to... Okay, so just sit gently and relax and close your eyes. Nobody else is looking at you, so this is just about you, okay? So sitting quietly, I want you to bring your focus to your breath. Simply breathe into your abdomen, hold it for a few seconds, and let it go. And again, breathe in, hold that breath, and let it go. And one more time, that precious third breath, nice inhale, hold, and exhale slowly. Let the thoughts that are keeping the mind busy come in. Acknowledge them and release them, bringing your focus back to your breath. Bring the mind back to your breath as often as you need to, with no judgment. Breathe in and hold and let it go. Know that with just these few breaths that you've just done, you're already changing the biochemistry to heal your body. Now, as we scan the body, direct your breath to that part of the body, gather the tension there, and let it go. Beginning with your feet, when you breathe in, gather all the tension and sensations in your feet. And on the exhale, let them go. Feel your feet comfortable and relaxed. Now, gather all the tension from all the parts of your legs on the inhale and give a big release on the exhale and relax and let that tension go. Moving to the lower back, deeply breathe the tension in, and on the exhale, release it and let it go. Again, as you inhale, gather all the tension in the lower back, and on the exhale, release it and let it go. Bring your breath to the abdomen. Breathe in any stress and discomfort in the abdomen, and exhale. Release it, let it go. Now collect all the tension from your chest and upper back. Breathe it in and let it go. Listen to the calm beating of your heart. Tune in to the regular rising and falling of your breath. Breathe into any sense of discomfort anywhere in your body and let it go. Breathe in the tension from your shoulders and neck, where we hold it so tightly, and release it. Let it go. Once again, breathe in the tension from your shoulders and neck. Soften it, release it, and let it go. Now gather the tension from your scalp and every part of your head. Let your jaw hang gently. Release that clenching that we so often do. Pull all that tension in on an inhale and release it and let it go. Just breathe. Breathe a nice, gentle breath right into your brain. Fill it with love and release that breath. Let it go. Once again, gather any tension or toxicity that you may be holding in your brain on a deep inhale. Hold it for a second and then let it all go. Now, with a nice deep breath, gather all the remaining tension from the tips of your toes right to the top of your head on your inhale. Hold it for a second and you guessed it. Let it go. Let's do that one more time, right from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. Sweep up any remaining tension. let it go. Know that the time you're taking to do this meditation is a time of gentle self-care. It's a time of healing. It's much easier to release tension from your body than it is to carry it around with you. When you let go of tension in your body, your muscles move more easily, more naturally. Feel your body moving easily and comfortably, doing all the tasks you want to do during the day. Picture your body moving exactly the way you want it to, easily and comfortably. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. Feel how good it feels to have a body and mind that are comfortable and relaxed. Now, briskly rub the palms of your hands together and gently place them over your eyes. Feel the warmth that energy has created. From there, gently massage your cheeks and your entire face. Massage the rims of your ears and pull on your earlobes and massage the sides of your neck down to your collarbone. And when you are ready, gently open your eyes and come back to the room. I hope you enjoyed that, and I wish you namaste and a wonderful day.